one other thing about, in terms of having meetings and getting these meetings, and I think, I can definitely talk about my history and how I sort of broke in and things. When Victoria comes up, she'll have, from a producer's and a agent's perspective, I think some great things to say about how to get those meetings. But once you're in those meetings, it's very important to be able to talk about more than just one project. I made the mistake very early on, with Savior, when I first got sold, of going into meetings with fairly, influential executives around town, studios, and it only took, maybe 2 times for me to realize that the most important question of the meeting, or at least one of them, was, so what are you working on now? Because what I did before, first of all, they couldn't buy it; it was sold to somebody else. They're looking to, they're businessmen. What's the next endeavor? And I can remember first time that question came up. I hadn't started anything else. I just was sort of riding this wave, and I'd made some money on it, and I thought I was a writer, and I'd gotten into the Guild, and I was having a good time out in L.A., and I said, "Yeah, not much." Glaze, and the meeting was over fairly quickly. It's important to know that you have to have confidence in all your ideas, but you have to have more ideas, much like having that one script, and be willing to talk about those, pitch them. So I never go to a meeting now, even if it's a meeting on a specific project. They'll send a book out and say, do you want to pitch on an adaptation or rewrite or whatever it is. I always go in with another idea to pitch. I might not need to do it, but it's pretty common that I will end up bringing it up. And it may be because maybe what I'm pitching is not working for them. You can never judge that. You can go in and pitch, and they might love your ideas, and you have to spend the time working on a pitch for a job, but they just might, want to go a different direction. And inevitably, so whenever I can see that happening, you can tell when they're not buying into what you're saying. I'll just reroute it into my own idea, because you never know. They might say, "Oh my goodness, that's great." Or a studio executive might have another project they're trying to develop, and the meeting agenda was one thing, and now they go to another one. Always, when you get in this, be ready with another idea, fully realized. Being a writer takes a lot of sitting around time thinking, and that's work. It doesn't look like work to some people.
Yeah, I would go one step further with yours. See, at this point, we're a little. He and I would be a little lost on the perspectives of you guys. We can get in there into a meeting. We're brought in by agents or whatever. We're brought into these meetings, and they're more than willing to listen to our pitch of something that we would do next. In your case, they're going to want to see the script. So in effect, when you get that sample script out there and you have those first series of meetings, because they want to meet you now, they might pitch you something they have, but if they ask the question, and they might very well do that, of what are you doing next, they want to see a script from you. They don't want to hear your pitch. You can pitch it, and if they like it, they'll say, "Let me see it. Send that over to my office tomorrow," right? So, as it was told to me when I was coming out of film school, you better have 2 scripts done before you get into those meetings. Done. Because I had a slightly different experience when they would say to me when I came out of film school and I had that one script that everybody wanted to meet me on. Then they would say to me, "What are you doing next?" And I would come up with stuff. I winged it. I didn't give the cavalier answer you did. I
only give it once.
Yeah, okay. I did wing up what I was doing. The problem was they would say, "Then send that to me next week. I'd love to read that." And I'm like, "I haven't written that."